Hey y'all. It's been a couple days. Whenever I last posted, um, was like the last time I had a little bit more extra time. And then I had a bunch of interviews and work to do. So I couldn't make any videos during the daytime. And I don't like doing it at night because of the lighting. And because my brain really like turns mushy after 3 p.m. Like I could probably still make a video, but I have like a personal rule not to really work after 6 p.m. So like if I don't have time to do this during the day, then it's not gonna happen. But yeah, thank God it's over. Like last week was so busy. I had so many interviews, and I still have a few this week and next week. But last week was just me saying yes to every interview, and I was just like looking up companies like 10 minutes before the scheduled interview and trying to remember like why I even applied to them in the first place. But also like it doesn't really matter because it's just for practice, and it was nice to just like talk to people again. And because I was like jumping back and forth, my interviews were really cringe. Like there was one in particular that I kind of was like preparing for off and on. It was a 1 hour presentation with this company, and I wasn't like super all in to work at this company. So I was just like looking at it whenever I had time, whenever I got around to it. And it's on one hand it's good because I'm not a procrastinator at all. Like I will do like slow, steady steps in general whenever I have like big projects. Um, but on the other hand, I just like totally let it slide for a while and like went back and looked at it and was like, oh, this is not nearly as finalized as I thought it would be. And then kept changing up my presentation. And then even the day of, even after I presented it, I realized there were still a lot of mistakes and old, unupdated slides in this presentation. And I never did a run through. Like, this is because I didn't really care about this job that much, I think. So it was just like, all right, I'm gonna wing it. And it's kind of like really hard for me to get myself there. Like, I'm not a perfectionist at all, simply because like this is what I did. Like, I didn't care about it, but at the same time, it still kind of hurts a little bit to wing things and to go in somewhere totally unprepared and be like I'm not here for the reasons you want me to be here, which is like just to like aggressively get this job. But I can't tell you that, and like this is like something I'm just doing for myself, kind of. So it was just so cringe. Like, for, like with the Zoom and the screen sharing, I haven't screen shared on my personal computer in a while, and apparently the setting was off. Like I couldn't share, so I had to restart. When I finally did understand how to share, I shared like my whole calendar, like my whole personal calendar, like the screen that I did not mean to share, and it was up there for a while. And I'm just like, just a Luddite, like learning the internet for the first time. Like, what is share? And then like people saw my whole calendar, and I don't think there was anything like incriminating on it, but I know there were some things on it that I preferred not to share. Like, like for example, I put like food stuff on there, like what I ate for meals, and like just it was my personal calendar. So then I got into the presentation and find out that there's like slides that I haven't updated, and I'm just like, it's like I didn't plan a speech, so it's like I don't want to read off the slides, but I also have to like improvise, and the whole thing was improvised. It was a whole hot mess, and at least I can laugh about it because I just think it is kind of funny, but like it's not that funny. And God knows why they want to see me again. Like, thank God your work kind of speaks for itself because, yeah, like my copy lines are fine, but this is why I'm not a presenter. I'm a writer. Like, I should not have to show my face and be in front of my words. Like, my words should be in front. But of course, obviously, like I don't mind presenting. I like being on, like being center of attention too. So anyway, now I'm like torn on whether or not I should do this final interview stage, which is like pretty chill, but it's long. It's gonna be like an hour and a half of my time, and I've just been putting it off, which is also bad form. Like just putting off responding to the recruiter who wants to see when you're free. So it's all a mess. So I have a couple more interviews that are also just exploratory for companies that I'm like kind of interested in, but I'm also like doing a lot of interviews at my current job, which is just also just like tiring and weirdly, I don't know, like interviews are just like a vibe that I do not like. So thank God last week passed. It feels like a gazillion years ago. And had a long weekend. I did a lot, very physical, outdoorsy weekend. So my body was kind of like really screaming out. Yesterday I felt sick, like nauseous and hot all over. And like today it was great just to take a rest day. I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm going to get a massage tonight. And I'm spending so much money on massage and therapy. Those are like my things though. And I don't really want to look at the screen right now. No offense, because I have been looking at screens since 7 a.m. this morning. I woke up at 6. And I'm trying not to look fully at screens. But yeah, it's been like phone and then work laptop up until now, which is like, now it's almost like 1 p.m. Now this laptop, I'm going to edit this, go back to work. But I did log off of Instagram in my phone, which I think is really smart. I'm stoked because I've tried so many different tricks on like getting off of Instagram, and it doesn't really, like Instagram doesn't stress me out. I don't feel FOMO necessarily, but I do spend small increments of time on it that add up probably to like an hour a day. And that would be cool if I used it at all, or like if I was using it to keep up with people, but neither of those things. Like I'm just a lurker, and I already mute almost everyone who I follow because I was trying to cut down on my time. But so I'm not even like exploring new things. I'm not discovering. So like I just decided the muting was kind of effective, but like I'm going to just log out of Instagram because now I don't need to go there every time I open my phone. It's like the thing I have to check in on before I can do anything else. It's ridiculous. So I did that, and I think that's going to be dope because I can still use it on my laptop. Same with Facebook and YouTube. I do those all on my laptop now. I never used TikTok. So now my phone is only useful for Slack if I'm at work, email, and like doing things, carrying out tasks like Venmo, like Strava for my running app, Google Calendars to check things, but there's like very little, and text obviously, but no like social element to my phone, which I think is social or media, which is going to be huge. And I have started to read a little bit more at night on my phone usually with my app. So I'm hoping that will be my replacement for any social media that I'm used to doing on my phone. But I'm still going to use it on my laptop. I guess you could say it's my birthday week. I'm going to get really into that. So might as well. 2 days from now my birthday, and don't have anything to do, COVID times, no travels, but I'm journaling a lot and I'm gonna eat a lot. So it's all about the food this year. I have been really into like eating out at restaurants a lot more like in the last couple of years because I like feel like I have the money now to afford it. So I've just sort of been making food plans for my birthday this year. Um, but I did think this morning when I was reading the New York Times that I really want to go to New York again. And I haven't thought about it since I went uh, a year ago, a year and a half ago, but suddenly realized like I really fucking want to go to New York again, and I want to live in Manhattan this time because I lived in Brooklyn last time and I lived there for like 2 months and change. But this time I want to go to Manhattan, and I think it might happen this year. I think obviously it would be spring or autumn, but yeah, I'm gonna make that happen, and I think that's something that I realized. Maybe not really just my birthday, but I think something else that probably deserves another post in its own is that the idea of having kids feels more tangible and realistic to me now more than ever before because a lot of my friends have been pregnant and had children now. And I let me just stop myself there, and I will save that for a different time. But it all makes sense, right, on the timeline of things. I think a lot of it is social pressure, not even pressure, but like social influence, social experience. So, you know, I'm just as easily convinced as the next person, and I think kids would be really interesting. And it would be nice to have an interesting life. So, I will leave it at that. But, um, yeah, beautiful day. I'm loving this month. Um, let's all stay happy, healthy, and I will see you again sooner than later. Bye.